Hey y'all. Some of you know, some of you don't. My shop, the shop that I work at as general manager, burned down. Well, didn't burn, but everything in it did. Early Tuesday morning. And I'm walking through it now. I've been in here before, in the last couple of days since this happened, but it's just a disaster. And I wanted to show you guys some of what we're dealing with here. It's just stuff. That being said, this stuff had my fingerprints all over it. Many hours were spent rehabbing this old building and putting in the spray foam and the conduit and running all the wires and wiring all the machines, moving all the machines in, speccing all that stuff, working wood, just making things happen, just making things in this building. So all of our people are safe. All of the firefighters that responded are safe. No loss of life and no injury, so that's a huge blessing. But thank God for insurance, because this place is toast. So I'm going to flip this camera around and show y'all some of what we got going here. So let's see. You got, that's the back of the building. That's the north end right there. Okay. So those were face frames for the fronts of cabinets. That's a build table. Another build table. That was a rack where one of our chop saws for cutting wood was. Cabinet. This thing's just torched, right? Stack of ply. Amazingly okay. This whole rack was filled with plywood. Now it's filled with charcoal. More cabinets. That was a reception area for a client. Plywood that, I don't know. Just stuff is just torched. That is 1,008 linear feet of 2 7/16 wide rips of 3/4 inch Baltic birch that was in the process of being manufactured for a client. Let's see. Planer. It's just trashed. Pocket hole machine. Trashed. Face frame rack full of face frame pieces. That was a Powermatic 66 table saw with a power feeder, 5 horse. And the fence on that one went to about, 68 inches. This was a 10-inch DeWalt miter saw. That's the guard, is just completely melted. This is all hickory. So when this is all said and done, we make some good barbecue. There's a Laguna dust collector back there. Heister forklift, used to be. Another Powermatic 66. This one was my favorite saw. 5 horse. But huge table. Just the size of this table saw 88-inch fence it had. This is where one of our hot spots was in the building. Now, see all this stuff above me and all the walls? This was all covered with spray foam about 3 or 4 inches thick, and it's all gone. It all cooked off. Up there, those were fiberglass skylights that it got hot enough that it cooked the binder out, and there's just these little tufts of fiberglass all over the shop. So back here, this was one of our hot spots in this northeast corner, and that was where all of our, or most of our quarter ply was stored. And now it's just a big old smoldering pile of charcoal. Over here was all board stock operations, and so we used that Powermatic with the 88-inch fence was for cutting quarter ply back skins and side skins, and then this 66-inch was for board stock and dimensional ply, like 3/4 and 1 inch structural plywood, for cutting that all up, ripping boards, making pieces, whatever. Then they'd come off of this table saw and move over onto this melted chop saw for cutting off ends or whatever, if you had a piece that was just funky and needed to cut. And that was a Craig pneumatic face frame table. Now it's charcoal. That was a little Jet Cyclone single stage dust collector. And Delta joiner right there. Big old 25 horse pneumatic jump saw over here. Right there, that's a big chop saw that the blade, you hit the foot switch and the blade comes up and cuts the piece that you're working on. Had another 12-inch compound miter saw over here. Another miter saw station. It's melted. These were some hickory slabs for a job that were CNC cut for the edges, the joining edges, and then and they were going to be countertops. This that's kind of the inside of the shop. Over here in the corner where the CNC's at is pretty dark, but I'll see if I can make it work. That was a Chem Master 510 CR. Now it's a 3,800 pound paperweight. And our compressors, let's see, back there in that corner, and there was a dust collector over there. That was Danny's build table. That was the only build table we had when we started in Prosper. And then it became Luke's build table. And inside of there is a conglomeration of all of their hand tools for actually working wood with these, not just pushing it through a table saw, using your hands, your digits, a plane and a hand saw to make stuff happen. A whole bunch of rocking chairs up there in top stock. They're, I don't know. I haven't even got up there to look. I don't know what condition they're in. I mean, they're singed, but they're pretty well. I don't know if structurally there's anything left or not. Then in here in the office area, there's a coat of black all over the floors, any flat surface, and that black is smoke, and then the anything that was plastic or oil based as it got cooked settled into this really grungy film of just nastiness. So part of the showroom, Vine and Branch's Fine Woodworks. So I've had a lot of people asking how we're doing, and we're fine until you stop and think about it. All you gotta do is come in here and look around, and it gets really real really quick. We are researching other properties right now. We are bringing in equipment and materials to become operational in our B shop. I'm standing in A shop right now. A shop is what cooked. B shop is next door, and it was basically filled with 3 years of overflow from just being, wide open production wise in A shop. So we have some room to make some stuff, and we're bringing in equipment in the interim to make some stuff to fulfill our contractual obligations to our clients and keep making sawdust, because that's what we do. So, and then we are continuing to look for another place to call home that will accommodate all the equipment that we need to produce our various product lines. And what happens to A shop, this is all headed to a landfill just as soon as the insurance companies figure out precisely what's happening. Everything in here is toasted. It's all completely toasted. So a lot of people have asked, how do we help? Just pray for us. Pray for a quick and painless process with the insurance company, and pray for peace of mind for myself and my boss, the owner, Danny, and all the guys that work here and the ladies that work here, and pray a prayer of thankfulness for all that you have. And it's especially poignant going into the holiday season that all of our stuff is torched, but the value of this company is not in the stuff. It's not in the equipment. It's not in the materials. The value is in the people that we have, who are A, people of integrity, and B, people who know how to use the equipment to manipulate the material to produce what we produce. And we have all of that we started with. And that's a huge blessing. So that is the sit rep from A shop. I really hope that this helps answer some questions for you guys. And thank you to everybody who has reached out to us. We really appreciate it. We are just literally taking it one piece at a time. So, love you guys. And we'll talk soon. I'll flip you around one more time and let you look.